I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a detailed look at the Anker Nano Power Bank 5K MagGo Slim, which I've been testing for the last month. Let's dive in. If you're familiar with other Anker power banks, this is going to look very familiar from a material standpoint. It is just kind of like a slick, sort of sleek material. You can see it says Anker on the front here. I took this on a trip with me to Tanzania, and before the trip was even up, it was a 2.5-week trip, this was already rubbing off. So, I mean, it doesn't really speak to the durability of the branding, but I guess more so what I would be concerned about is the actual durability of this product itself. And you can see the rest of it is still in very solid shape. So it holds on to like fingerprints and smudges and stuff, so aesthetically maybe not the best, but you know, we also have this in white, and the white one I think just shows it a little bit less, personally speaking. That's kind of what I've noticed. But it is a pretty solid shape. So this actually just attaches to your phone. And so it just goes onto the back like that. And because it's a curved shape, when you have it in your palm, it's very comfortable to hold alongside the phone. So what I think is nice about this is if your phone has a really hard time holding a charge, this is gonna be a really great product for that, because like mine right now, the newest iOS update, my phone is just still kind of figuring it out and my battery's dying crazy fast. So this saved me over the weekend when I was doing a lot of estate sailing and I wasn't near a charger consistently. I was able to just pop this on, but it still fit well in my pocket, which I'll get into. In terms of the actual functionality of this, you can see that, like I showed you, it is that wireless Qi 2 compatible charging, that MagSafe, and when it's MagSafe, it is 15-watt charging, or it is 20-watt charging if you use the USB-C port on the bottom here, which is how you also recharge this. It also does pass-through charging, which is nice, and then with the this USB-C, it is also a 5-watt max if you want to charge something like AirPods or something like that. So that's helpful as well. And then this is compatible with their iPhone models like 12 through 16 that have that MagSafe technology. So you do need to be able to, you know, have a MagSafe compatible case, phone, all that jazz to be able to get this to fit. But all you do is, here, I'm actually gonna put this on, flip it over. You can see the charging has started. I'm at 99%. About an hour ago, I actually put this thing on and I was at like 80, and now I'm at 99. This is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery bank, and it is rated capacity on the side here says 3,000. So you aren't going to be able to get a full charge out of your iPhone from zero. However, like I mentioned, if you're using this to just top up your phone, this is going to be a great option because, you know, it's not so big that you need it to charge your phone all the way, but you can get maybe like a couple of half or quarter charges out of it as needed, which is nice. And that's how I was using it throughout my trip in Tanzania as well. And then there's also the advanced cooling system, which keeps this thing cooler. So the temp is designed to stay below 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 Celsius. And I did find that this did get hot, but I noticed that any sort of wireless charger gets hot when it's charging my phone. So it was less, I would say it wasn't anything that like I couldn't hold it still in my hand. So that does help with that sort of functionality, especially because you want to be able to carry your phone with this still on it. So overall, you know, I think what's really nice about this is it's so thin and lightweight. This is only 4.3 ounces or 122 grams, and then it's 7.6 millimeters thick, which is 0.3 inches. So compared to a lot of others on the market, which I'll show you in comparison to a couple, this is very, very thin for the rated capacity that you get. So depending on the phone you have, you know, obviously larger iPhones or larger, you know, phones in general are going to need more than that 5,000 at its base because you lose power as you charge. But I think for, you know, having a smaller phone and just topping up, this is a great option for that. If you're finding this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. Looking at the packability of this, like I showed you earlier, it's a very slim design, so it holds really nicely against, or you can hold your phone still very easily when it is on the back of it, which makes this really great for if you're walking around and you have a very specific pocket in your bag or something you like to slip it into that's a little bit thinner. This is going to slide in there still pretty easily. Also with pockets, so like women notoriously have smaller pockets. I have no issue getting this into my pocket in terms of width. Obviously my phone doesn't fit all the way in there, but also on the back, I have no issues just sliding it in and pulling my phone out. That MagSafe feels very secure, so it doesn't feel like it's going to like catch on the side of my pocket and pop out or anything like that. And then also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but there are 4 little dots down here. So if you're curious how much power is left, there's a little button on the side, and that's where that lights up as well to help you just kind of get visibility on how much power is left in this thing. So in comparison to a couple of other chargers, the functionality is largely similar. Looking at specifically the iPhone Air charger that they just released, that one is designed specifically for the iPhone Air. We don't have it here, but we can pop up a picture for you. That one is created exclusively for that iPhone Air, but this Anker has a larger capacity. And based on what I can find online, the Air battery is slightly thinner and like a little bit taller, but not by much. So if you were looking for something, you know, just from like a functionality standpoint, if you were looking for something to charge your phone more, this Anker is slightly, you know, maybe thicker, maybe a little bit taller, or maybe a little bit shorter, but it's going to be able to charge your phone more than like that iPhone Air one is. But it has that similar functionality, being very small, almost to the point where you don't even notice it on your phone. With the clutch charger, this Pro version actually attaches to your phone, but you have to charge with the cable that's built in. So if I attach this here, I have to keep it down here and actually plug my phone in that way, and then it'll start to charge. So that's a little bit less convenient, I would say, for functionality, because it needs to physically be plugged in order to work. But if you wanted something that has that similar slim design, there are a ton of brands out there, like on Amazon, and this is one of them. This is a brand, it's Inu or INIU, but the way that it fits on the back is very similar to the Anker, and it has a similar functionality. There are a couple extra features here, like a little kickstand, and it has like the little paw print, which is kind of cute. But in general, like with this charger over here, like it's going to be a very similar functionality, but it just feels a little bit more cheaply made. So right now, with the cost of both of these, you're paying $15, if that, more for this Anker, and in my opinion, it's worth it to go up a little bit, because this is a very dependable battery bank brand, whereas this one here could decay over time a little bit faster. Who knows, right? Long-term testing will definitely tell with this, but some users do report some issues over time. So there you have it, the Anker Nano Power Bank. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.